this guy. I said something about getting lost in your eyes, like at IKEA.
That's when I was ghosted going to Manchester. Yeah.
Hello and welcome to How's Your Heart podcast. Igama lami linguLindo Kuhle. It is Lindo for short. Welcome to yet another episode. Boo, 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 boo.
Sanibonani. Oh, hello.
What's the word soft?
Hey, kuthiwa intombi mayike calm.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Calm. Ndifuna uba in my Luella bag era.
I've got my friend, my sister. Sisters,
Hey, Dadid.
how are you?
I'm good. I'm
I'm
good.
good.
Blessed.
It's Sunday.
Amen.
So we have our Sunday best.
Yeah.
And what are we talking about today?
Talk about Hinge. Njolo. UK, Hinge, Njolo.
As you might have seen from the title of the video, we are talking about dating in the UK, and we just want to whinge about Hinge, which is one of the online dating sites.
But it's to win.
Whinge is to complain.
Oh.
Is to complain. I got this. You remember the
You sent me
Yes.
20 done.
No. It's different. It's a different one.
Oh,
There's Whinge About Hinge, a podcast.
that's the name of the
yes,
podcast.
It's the podcast.
Oh.
Whinge About Hinge is two Australian girls. They just talk about their dates on Hinge. I think they stopped now.
Oh, really?
I mean, how
You can only do so much.
you can only
I
do so
told
much.
you these boxing themes, like when you name your
Yes.
podcast according to a thing that is measurable, you get to a point
yeah.
where you run out of things to say.
I loved the way they talked about their Hinge dates because they wouldn't shoot every day, and they would shoot on a need basis. Like if they go on a date, then they will say, okay, this is how the date unfolded. I guess they recorded when something happened.
Yeah.
So I like that.
I like that.
I really enjoyed that podcast because I was also in that era.
Are you not anymore?
No.
Okay.
No.
Look at
I'm taking a break from that.
I because that you are married or something.
Yeah, my
Somehow
sister. For those that don't know, this is Amanda, Elisa, Kanyesa, Obana. Did I get the?
You always get it wrong, but as long as you've got all of them in, I'm Amanda for short.
For sure.
Well, only dog for short. Amanda for short. Then
Amanda for short. How's your heart, my friend? Quickly.
I'm so blessed, eh? I'm so blessed, friend. Like I just had a good weekend. I went on a church conference from Friday
Yeah.
evening, and then the whole day yesterday, and today I just came back from church. So I feel like I had such
Jesus this, Jesus that.
Wacho urori
Yebo.
in the big names of Rorisang. Jesus this,
Jesus
Jesus that. JT mdakabao.
Yes.
So yeah, like as you can imagine, like I just feel my heart is so full. I feel God's prompting and God's spirit, and just rest in His arms. So yeah, I'm feeling very blessed. I feel really good.
That's so good.
Yeah.
That's so
How are
good.
you? How's your heart?
I feel very content. I had a difficult week, but even in that, I feel so content in my season. I feel like already I knew that there was going to be difficulties this year, but even in the pressing and in the hardships, I do feel content. And I'm so grateful that I got to a point in my life where when something happens, or when there's a bit of shaking, I'm not like, oh my goodness, I'm still like pressing into God and still being like, I am
Riding the wave.
yes, I'm here and I'm going to see it through. And funny enough, today at church, they were talking about perseverance and not escaping. Because, like, one of the things that the lady said was, people maybe don't want to serve in church, or they don't want to be part of church because they're already planning an escape, or you're going through something and you just want to escape, but just persevere and go through it, because whatever you're going through now is good. It's preparation for the next season. So that was
Amen.
good. That was good. Before I preach,
Hey, awesome. I was
because
about
if
to
I
say,
start,
I was about to add, but
if I start,
let me hold,
hey,
guy,
hey,
hold it in.
yes, self-control is the
Yeah.
fruit of the
Amen.
spirit. Amen.
Amen.
Okay, so let's get into our chat. It's raining in London, so we are very cozy here on the couch, and we just want you to come and sit with us. Sit with us as we have this conversation, girl chat, but for the guys as well, come and sit with us.
Yeah, they should.
Okay, dating in the UK, we've been here for 2 years now. Your
Look
2 years
at
is
us.
coming up.
It's so
Your
close.
2 years is coming up next
It's so
month.
close. Less than a month. Nah. Exactly a
Yeah.
month tomorrow. It's going to be exactly 1 year, 11 months tomorrow.
So, dating in the UK, how do we even start?
We started the intention.
Okay,
Started the
you
start.
get here, and what are you thinking in terms of dating? Are you
Let's-
dating someone?
Let's start at home. How everyone, as a single person, when you're still home, how everyone's like, go to the UK, your husband is in the UK. Go to the UK, you find a white man. That's
Bring-
what they say.
bring a
bring
white
a
man.
white
Bring.
bring us a white man.
Bring. It's the bring for me.
It's the bring for me, Sana. So it starts there with this whole. It's almost like you've got this expectation when you're still back home that, oh my God, I know in South Africa it's looking
Yeah.
tricky,
Yes.
but let me just go to the UK.
I'm going to the UK,
In
so
my person is
is
waiting
there.
for me at Heathrow, and then you get here.
Yeah.
So that's where we start.
Okay. Start, my sister. And you know what, right? You also don't want to admit that this prospect of this white person, or meeting this person, even though you like brush it off, you're like, yeah. But you also have the expectation of, I'm gonna meet my person. Not necessarily like white, but
Your
I'm gonna meet
person.
my person.
And it's
Yeah.
so diverse. Like the spectrum is so wide.
So how come
I'm not
definite? So you get to hit through, and then obviously you kind of settle in. Are you on a dating site at the time when you arrive?
when I arrive immediately.
Yeah.
Yes.
Really?
That was the first thing I did.
Come
As
on.
soon as I was in the UK, I was like, I want to see these UK men. They must show
Men them.
themselves now.
Huh.
I didn't even hesitate. Like, I just knew from the get go. Okay, not like immediately, but like after settling down and I had my own space and I was like, unpacked and everything. Then I downloaded the apps.
I didn't know about Hinge until like July. July, the first day that I was in London. I didn't know anything about it.
Yeah.
At all. And some girls suggested it to me, and I was like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
we'll see.
And then where were you at this point in your life? Because you had said that you started off closed
Yeah.
off to
So
that. Yeah.
I was still like in the high of just meeting friends, meeting new people, and even then when they suggested Hinge, or they were saying like they were on Hinge and unhinged, they were unhinged. I wasn't in a space where I wanted to have a relationship or anything, and because I was meeting people like randomly.
Oh, you told me this.
I was meeting people randomly, and I was I wouldn't say I was seeing, but I had met someone. This is important to the story. I was even English. I'm like,
Tell your story, my sister. Tell. Don't let English be your escape now.
okay, so at the time they're talking about this dating site, I am talking to a guy. We are in a talking stage with this guy that I randomly met when I was coming back from Sainsbury's.
Mm.
And this guy just came up to me, asked for my number, and which a lot of people in the UK say it doesn't happen,
Mm-hmm.
but for some reason I just attracted people, or
Mm.
I had a friendly face that
Mm.
people were like, okay, they can approach me. The
Mm.
one time I actually did that, I went out for a walk around like 10.
Yeah.
Yeah, around 10. I'm just thinking
It
about my
was
parents now.
summer. It
Like,
was summer. 10 here, it's not even dark.
yeah, it's nothing to be scared of.
Yeah,
This is the
10
reason
in
why we
the
are in
UK is
London. It's like you can
different.
go out. You
Mm.
you you went to the shops at like 12, around
Yeah,
11, 12.
before my birthday,
So
yeah.
yeah, I take a walk and this guy just randomly stops and is like, "Hey, this is another guy now."
Uh,
And we just started talking. We ended up going to have ice cream.
is it that
But
cute
then
one you showed me?
no.
Uh.
The cute one is the one I met
Oh,
first.
Sainsbury.
Yeah,
Okay.
Sainsbury.
Mm.
But I'm just saying in terms
Yeah.
of like just getting approached by people,
Mm.
different people. And yeah, so I was in the talking stage with this guy, but obviously he wasn't serious.
Mm.
And then one random Friday I was like, "Oh, I'm not busy. What could I do?" And then I was on Hinge.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Sounds a lot like all the times I've downloaded my dating apps. Always starts like that. It always starts like that. That's why you must read a book, watch a podcast, do something. You know, being bored will put you.
What?
All my stories when I delete a dating site, when I download it again, it's exactly what you just
Do
said.
you remember when I told you that I was back on Hinge, and then you were like, "You are, and then, and then you didn't tell me that you were back on it."
You just randomly were like, how did I tell you? How did it even come up now?
Why think about each other? Like sometimes we hide things from each other. I was like, "Hi, Bakul. Didn't you say that?" Okay.
And I knew I was hiding it, Sana, because I judged you so much. And you know me, Sana, when I am in that strong face, when I'm in that strong face, I saw the charm him now. I went to meet someone in person. Where? Where?
But now I'm like like I literally just told you a story now and you're like, "You never told me." But like also I was like embarrassed to tell the story.
Yeah,
But one thing about us, eventually we will talk about it, even though, and we'll admit to my like, "Girl, I was judging you
I was
at the
judging
time."
you.
Anyway,
Yeah.
how did your first date go, and why did you meet the guy?
That's I can't think of my first date, but one I can think of that I went to in Bristol. I just met someone. It was either Hinge. I had all the sites, like Hinge, Bumble. What's the other one? Tinder. Met him in one of the sites, and then he was like, "Oh, let's go out." And then those are the best ones when you like not talking on the app immediately. You planning something. Well, the guy is planning something to show that he's serious, and he wants to meet up. And then we went to this nice restaurant actually, in Bristol. It's like those hotel restaurants. Yeah. So went there, met him there for the first time. He was Jamaican,
Mm,
so black guy, but like grew up in here, British, black British sort of guy. And then we went on the date. It was fine. We spoke. Like it was just that's the one that comes to mind. Um, and that date, I just remember it was like a typical date, restaurant, dinner. And then I remember afterwards, he was just like, "Oh no, let's go for a walk." And then we went for a walk, and then we started talking, and then he walked me home. Nothing spectacular to talk about. It was just like he was why we didn't work out was again communication. He was very like quiet. He'd go quiet for like the whole
yeah.
day or a couple of days and then come back.
One thing about UK men, they are the prize.
Oh,
they are the prize. You remember that guy that was breadcrumbing me? He would just text one day. I met this guy on Hinge, and he would text one day, go 3 days without texting back or saying anything. Randomly comes back
Come
into the
back.
picture.
And you sana they expect but you are still on that page where they
Yes.
left you days ago. How?
You're like, how sway?
How, my guy? Where have you been?
Yeah.
Yeah. And another thing, actually, another date comes to mind. I think that was my first date. Was with this thing of UK men being the prize. Was this guy who was just like, let's go for a walk. That shook me. I'm like, do you mean like literally a walk? And I go, okay, on the chat, he's this baller. Oh, I'm on vacation. I'm in Europe. When I come back,
Portugal.
when I come back from Spain, when I come back from Italy, da 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 da. I'm like, okay, then let's go for a walk. And we went for a walk, my sister.
Cheap dates.
Like when I tell you, it was literally a walk by the harbor. If you know Bristol, there's that harbor where we walked, where we took a walk. We just didn't connect because for me, if you got this big talk about you being a big baller,
And
show
then
me. You can't be talking about being a big baller while we are sitting on a bench next to the river. Why are we not popping bottles? Why are we not in some rooftop? What do you mean?
oh my goodness.
So I was like, nah, man, nah. So I was just put off by the whole thing. That was my first date. And then we just stopped talking eventually.
My one cheap date was at IKEA.
That's the one. Please tell me about this because I haven't heard about this one.
So
Please explain IKEA first of all for the people who don't know. Please describe
okay,
IKEA.
IKEA is a furniture shop, but it's like huge. If I think comparable to South Africa is like Decofen,
Yeah.
but it's maybe triple the size, and you just go through mazes in IKEA. You can get lost
I
because
don't
my
like
friend and I
IKEA. When
got
we
lost.
went there, but get that go.
Okay, we'll talk about that. So I had this cheesy pickup line
Your
I s-
pickup line.
to
Okay.
this guy. I said, um,
Please say it.
I said something about getting lost in your eyes, like at IKEA. But anyway,
Where are the
I
reactions? Is that cricket there?
nobody he liked it. It was corny and it was funny, but I just can't remember it now. I probably got it somewhere, but it was just something about getting lost in his eyes,
You
like
must teach me,
IKEA.
friend. That's no, I don't flirt with these men. I
And
just
then he
talk.
was like, "Oh yeah, you'd be so cool if you go to IKEA." And we're like, "Yeah, let's do it." Like while we're talking about it, it was cool to think about doing it, and then when we actually did it, it was crazy because we literally just walked around. Oh, what would you pick? Would you pick this? I think it was nice.
I thought, when you said IKEA.
Yeah.
You remember you showed me that buffet station thing
We
that they
also
have.
went there.
Please explain that. You didn't
Okay.
finish explaining
No.
IKEA
So
then.
I meet him and then we walk to IKEA. We're like, go to the couch section, go to the kitchen, the bathroom, and we just like trying to get to know each other, know each other's styles. Oh, I have a couch like this. I have something like this. Or I'd like
That's
this in
not too
my
bad.
house.
That's cute.
It was
That's
very
actually
different. It
not
was
bad.
very
That
nice
is
date.
different.
It was very nice date, and after like you walk around, it's like I think there's there's two
There's
floors,
2 floors,
but
yeah.
then the
Is
floors
it the
are
same one we
huge.
went to? The same IKEA?
Yes, the same IKEA, and we went back. So IKEA is famous for their meatballs and something else. So
Is
he
it not the fish as well?
fish, yes.
Yeah, it's like a buffet.
Yeah, because you will get hungry at IKEA, so that's another thing. So they have a food section where you can get food, whether before or after you
Yeah.
shop. We had our date there,
That's
and we had
nice. That's actually not too
meatballs.
bad. Did he pay?
He did.
That's a date. No, that's actually not a cheap date. That's way better
It was
than
nice. It
walking.
was nice.
Walking inside IKEA, and also IKEA gives grown up sort of
Yeah.
family vibes
I think like
because
that type of date or going shopping, grocery shopping, you are doing an activity and like it was nice. It
that's
was
not bad.
nice. We
I'm
didn't
not
get
mad at
bored.
that. I'm not mad at that.
We
I
did.
expected worse. I don't know.
And like the second date was at a restaurant. We actually sat down
That's
and
so
we
nice.
had a typical date. But
Ah,
it was
those
our
are good
second date.
dates. Aye, those are good dates. How about you, Wena?
Yeah. What is one crazy thing that has happened with someone you met on the dating?
Yeah,
Don't let me remind. Yeah.
it was when I was ghosted going to Manchester. Yeah, so I have a sad story. That didn't really work out how I wanted it to work out. So basically, I met this guy on Hinge. I was still staying in Bristol, so I had opened up my location settings to like the rest of the UK, basically. And then we matched, and then he said he lives in London. I live in Bristol. And
And
then
that's an hour by train.
our 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Or so, yeah.
And 3.5 hours by bus. Because
Yeah.
I took that bus.
That did. Hey, God. Yeah, so he was like living in London. I was living in Bristol. We matched. Yo, very hot guy. I sent you his pictures, remember? Hot guy.
Types that.
Types zam ke sana ku cute. Guy. He works like for an investment firm. He's smart. Hey, we are talking. We are FaceTiming. Hey, when he looks like his pictures. He's hot. I'm like, yo, this guy is hot. Cool.
This is what they promised about the
This
UK.
is the
This is
man
it.
them we
This is-
ordered.
From Top Boy.
Oh, those are the ones. So
I
I'm
never
like,
even watched Top
I've
Boy,
also
but okay.
never, but I can imagine that they look like that. So we like we matched. Let's say we matched on a Tuesday. The whole week, chommy, calling, FaceTiming. Hey, I'm in love.
Hey,
Like man is like no,
God himself
God,
brought
send
him.
to me. He's
Pumped.
mine and on my lap, my London hot man.
Anointed.
Hey, kodwa uGod siyamsukela sometimes. Hayi ke uguy, me and him, he's like, so this is happening Tuesday, FaceTime, Wednesday, FaceTime, Thursday, one of our FaceTime. He's like, oh, let's go out. Since we both live in different cities, let's meet on like a vacation weekend away. What kind of first date is this? Lindo Kuhle. I'm like, yo, this man is sent by God. Let's see. He's like, where do you want to go? I'm like, I want to go to Bath. So Bath is a city next to Bristol. It's about 7 minutes away from Bristol by train. So I'm like, let's go to Bath because I've been wanting to go to Bath, and I feel like it's a cute, romantic type of city, and you can just get it done in a weekend or even in a day. So I'm like, let's go to Bath. He's like, yeah, let's go to Bath. Let's go to Bath. I'll book everything and then I'll send you the details. Cool. It must have been the Wednesday because the following day the plan changed. He comes back. He's like, I've been to Bath, and I feel like there's not so much to do there. It's a small city. There's not so many activities. Have you been to Manchester? I'm like, no, I have never been to Manchester actually. And then he's like, let's go to Manchester. So without even thinking, mind you, okay, I'm still very new to the UK at this point. So I'm like, without even really thinking about it, I'm like, yeah, let's go to Manchester. Butterflies in my stomach. That
Yes,
time.
babe.
I am in love. after the call, I Googled how far from Bristol to Manchester. After the fact, after I've agreed, yo, 3 hours, 45 minutes train. But I'm like, man, what if he's my
For
husband?
yes.
I'm like, what if he's my husband? It will be such an experience. We can talk about it. He sends me the hotel booking. He sends me a reservation for a restaurant so we're planning to go on the Saturday. He sends me a restaurant booking. I'm like, an intentional
Yes.
man. Sometimes you guess I don't know, no?
Little.
I'm in my gym era
Yes.
at that time. So the Friday I go to the no, I go meet up with my friend. And then after work, and then as I'm meeting up with her, man's FaceTimes me while I'm with my friend. He's like, I'm so excited for tomorrow, da 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 da, but I'm busy at work. Oh, I FaceTimed him, maybe. I don't know. But I just remember him saying, I'm busy at work. I'm working for this US client, so I'm working weird hours. Da 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 da. And then I tell my friend, I'm like, yo, I've got this date in Manchester. Yeah, I check, after I tell my friend, I check the ticket. The ticket is £100.
Hey. Hey. 2,000
I'm like,
rand.
return. Now, let me buy one way in case the date doesn't go well and I have to come back same day. All right? So I'm like, let me buy one way and then I'll buy the return. So I buy the £50 one, the one way one. Sharp. I tell my friend's like, Charmy, are you sure? Hey, I am sure, friend. I show him the reservation. Even booked 2 separate rooms. It's
Yes.
so cute. Like he's so intentional. Okay. So this is the Friday. I'm with my friend, right? And then I call him. It's like he's so busy at work, da 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 da. But he's so excited for our date. So we don't speak for long. And then after I leave my friend's place, I go to the gym. Get to the gym. So that was my first thing. My friend was skeptical, ne? First thing. Second thing, I get to the gym. As I'm busy gymming, I sprained my ankle. Sprained my ankle so bad. I'm like, oh, this is painful. Painful. Walk back home. And I'm limping. I'm like, oh Jesus, what is this now? How am I gonna go to Manchester with a solid
Imagine
foot?
now your husband
Now,
missing out on your husband
missing out on my
because
husband because of a
foot.
stupid ankle. I'm like, no, it will heal in
And
Jesus'
it's the
name.
devil.
It's the devil. I'm like, it will heal in Jesus' name. So that was strike number 2. You know the signs are there, but we ignore the signs. Hey, the ankle sign is tomorrow
At
6
6
a.m.
a.m. I know.
For me to catch the train at 6 a.m., I must be up by 5 a.m. Even earlier, 4:30, even because I have to be out of the house by 5:30 to make it to the train station by 6. But this is my husband.
Yes, he's
This
the
might
one.
be the one. You never know. So because I knew I have to wake up early, I slept early, right? And already like I was tired from the gym. It was a long day, whatever. And then I wake up the following day at 4 a.m. 4:30, and then I check my phone. Message from my person saying this message came in at around 11 p.m. The Friday. Message came in, and guy is like, remember he was busy at work and he
Yeah.
finished late, and now it's around 11. He's like, oh, hi, babe. I'm going out with my brother.
Hey, babe.
Oh, babe.
Babe.
After 4 days. Oh, my God. Nah, two eyes is niggas.
Yes, niggas.
Hey, look at niggas. Hi, girl. He's like, babe, I'm going out with my brother at 11 p.m. So from London to Manchester, it's about 2 hours. It's less time than from Bristol, actually. So I'm like, but it's still a substantial amount of time of travel, especially if you're gonna spend a weekend. like, well, not a week, but we're coming back on Sunday. We're
Yeah.
planning to come back on Sunday, and we've got these reservations. Like, it didn't make sense to me, but why are you going out with your brother?
Yeah.
And also, as I'm reading the message, it's almost like, when it's the calm, it's not even the calm before the storm, but it's a way of hinting. Because if you say you're going out at 11, you have a train to catch tomorrow, a 2-hour, 3-hour train, and you're going out. When are you going to come back? How are you going to be ready for your trip? But you know what? I'm going. When I wake up, my ankle
It's screaming.
mink. The ankle is screaming. I sit and I rub. I'm like, hey, ankle, wake. If we have to go to Manchester, shower, dress up, I look cute, pack a little bag because I'm going on a vacation. Oh, God. I can pack a book. I remember I was reading Americana. Pack my book. I'm like, oh, I've got a 3-hour train ride. I'm going to read. I'm going to be cute. And I have a friend who I did articles with. We had planned already that we're going to meet. Because if it's 6, 7, 8, 9, I'm going to arrive there around 9 to 10. So I'm like, let's go for breakfast with my friend. So I knew I was going to immediately arrived in Manchester, have breakfast with my friend. Yeah, meet with the love of my life. On the train, I'm on the train like halfway into my trip. Probably the time is around 7, 8 now on the train. And then guy is like, I get a text, an iMessage. He's like, Amanda, where are you? Can I refund you your ticket?
No.
Or are you already on
No.
your way? I think that has this first thing. Are you already on your way? I can refund you your ticket.
What's the time that he texts you now?
It's at around 8.
So you're in the middle of your journey.
In the middle
Almost
of my
there.
journey. Please listen to my answer. I'm like, I'm on my way. Like, damn. You on your way? About Uti desperate much? About Uti
I thought you'd still
at
be
8
sleeping.
a.m.?
What time did you guys decide on?
Kaloku, we didn't specify the time that we got it because the check-in at the place was probably
2, 3.
2, 3. But I had told him that I'm meeting with my friend first, so I'm gonna arrive. I did tell him, but we didn't specify the times. I just told him I'll arrive early, meet up with my friend, wait for him. Then when he arrives, we'll meet there. Damn, without H, what am I doing? Damn.
That's crazy, fam.
You on your way? No, I still am a dot.
Siyahleka ngoku.
Inhliziyo. Gugu. 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 Dava incwadi. I was reading most America.
Hayibo. Yintoni le ndikuyo?
Omasijongayo masitrain. The people are looking at me. I can't cry now. How are you crying now when people are looking at you? Damn. You on your way? How far are you? I'm like, I'm halfway. I'm going to arrive at 9:45. Damn. Triple A. My picture is damn. Every A is a to my heart. I'm like, there's no way this man. Yo, now I can feel the tears are hot there. I can. But I can't cry. People are looking at me. And then I'm like, yeah, I'm on my way. Like, okay. I'm so hungover. All right, I'll get up. Basically, I'll do you a favor and get up because you are so desperate. You are so far ahead of me. Immediately, show me for some reason, like my mind just told me this man's not coming. Immediately, like,
because how come you booked everything and then
I was just
it's okay to say, oh, I just woke up, I will get ready, I'll probably be there at this time, because you hadn't planned the time. So now what does it mean you've already booked the place, you've paid for it, and now you want to cancel, which means you didn't even have the intentions of getting there. Kwasekuqaleni.
Fun.
Yeah, kwaba njalo kuphela kwalo
Hey,
ngosi.
yaphela njalo into yami norapeleng. Ngethuna. Hayi ke chomi ke wathi ba andibhanqile. Oh, I'm getting dressed now. As the train jugu ibheke manje. Jugu. And now I'm like, you know what? The way my heart was so broken, I just wanted to get to Manchester in 10 minutes. But I've already promised
You're
my
in the
friend.
middle.
I promised my friend, but I'm gonna meet up with him. So I'm like, ish, I even have this breakfast now that I must go to. Da, da, da. But anyway, that was the end. And then when I got to Manchester, now he's lying the whole way, like, I'm getting dressed now. My train is at 10. And then he changes. Oh, my train just left me. My train is now at 11.
If he wanted to,
He would.
he would.
He would.
He definitely would.
He definitely would, and you would see. And when he would like he very much
would have.
very much would. Because I ended up going to a vacation after that, remember?
Yes, and you
And
went
that
there.
vacation, he wooded. The man wooded.
Yes, he
Yeah,
would.
He wold. He wold.
Okay, I want you to get to the story.
Which one?
The one at KFC. And then I'm gonna get to my story, and then we'll wrap this conversation up.
Again, I met this guy on Tinder, in Bristol still, and then we went on a date. He lives same area as me in Bristol, where eventually we found out we were neighbors. He literally lived like 5
Down the
houses away,
street.
down the street. But we didn't know when we matched, like how close he was to my house. And then we met up. We went on a date. Had some went to this Indian restaurant. It was cute. Oh, it was cute.
Okay, why are you saying it like that?
Because then I dumped him. Well,
Okay.
I don't. We went
Aye, the
dating.
world turns around, guys. Hey,
We went dating.
now
but
someone ghosted you. Now you must do keep the balance
I went.
in life.
Oh,
Why
yeah.
did you ghost? Why did you break up with him?
I didn't ghost him. I told him. I had the conversation with him. But it was just because we asked each other what we do, and then I told him what I do, and he said he works at KFC. Then I was like, I wouldn't be with someone who works at KFC. And then he was like, oh, really? No, give me a chance. That's when I feel bad that you're making me tell this story.
Listen, you know what? The
And then
reason
remember
why.
we went to on a second date when we went to the Bristol Eye. Then we went to the Bristol Eye, and it was so cute. But I was like, I don't want to.
The ones we want, they don't want us. The one we don't want, they want us. No, you know what? The reason why I'm asking you to tell this story is because I remember having a conversation when I got here, and I was still naive. And I was having conversations with my friends, and one guy said if they met someone at the club and that person they like them, and then the next day they found out they work at Tesco, they're not doing anything with that person. And I was like, oh no, I could date anyone. Listen, no. This economy is real,
Very much so.
and it's not about classing people, but what is it about?
Being equally yoked, like equally yoked is not just spiritually, but also like you don't want to be pulling someone. And the thing is, someone can work at KFC and have a vision, like a bigger vision. I didn't pick that up from that guy.
Yeah.
That he has, someone could work at KFC, but they're studying, doing their masters. Like when I asked him, "Oh, how far did you get to even in school?" Like we're just not compatible in terms of how far did you get to? Oh no, I didn't go to uni. You get what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
it's not just a KFC thing. It was just a thing of I'm at this place in my career, I'm this educated, and this is what I want for myself. Is this person equally yoked to be able to stand by me and also pick me up for when I want to study further, when I want to do something
Yeah.
else? Like, are they ambitious? And I didn't pick that up from him. It was like, I love you so much. I'll do everything for you. And I'm like, what? Like, what
What
ambition do
is
you have
it?
for yourself? Like, what do you want to go to school? He didn't seem interested. Do you want to, So it's more
Yeah.
about like ambition. And I was like, I'd rather be single than be with a person who's not ambitious and who's not willing to better their life and like, educate themselves, grow themselves. So
Yeah.
it's yeah, like there's a lot. It's not about classism, but it's also about being equally yoked because you want a man that's gonna lead you, that's gonna
That's gonna
motivate you,
provide.
gonna provide.
That's gonna provide
Exactly.
because at the same time, I feel like the lifestyle that you have, you are able to maintain it, and you want a certain lifestyle, and that person is supposed to come into your life. Either you maintain that level of lifestyle or it goes up. But you know what? There's a person for that person, and
There
that's
is
fine.
definitely.
One thing that I would touch on is just that Sana 50-50 in the UK, like you're
Yeah,
going on dates and having to split the bill. Like it's the first
it's a
date. Why are
thing.
we splitting the bill?
It's a thing.
It's a thing. Like it's really weird for us to see that. Like, how did you get through that? Like, it was so weird for me. Like seeing someone just being hesitant to like pay, and normally I'll just tap my card.
But I'll go happy. I go natural,
Yeah, like
I go natural. But a lot of things are like that. It's not just 50-50 in money. Even in calls, a man will say, I called you last time. Why are you not calling me? I texted you last time. You're like, are you a man? Be a man. Yo. So 50-50. How did I navigate it? I just didn't. Like, I just get an ick immediately.
yeah.
Yeah.
There was this one guy that told me on the first date do 50-50, and I think he was speaking from like past hurt, and I was just like, yo, miss, I'm not doing 50-50 with a man on a first date.
I'm
I'm
not
not
doing
doing it.
it.
I'm not doing it.
I'm not. I can't. And that's it. I can't. Like, just chase me first. Then I'll
Yeah.
fall, and then I'll
I'll
do the
give you
most.
everything.
These ones, Sana, they expect from the
They
get
are so
go.
hurt by, I guess, the girl is here, but we are not them. So don't treat us like them. Like we believe in men leading, in men providing. Gosh, I broke up with someone because they talked a lot.
I hate that.
That was an ick for me. Like the guy that was very intentional. He would come pick me up, go to a restaurant.
Oh, you
That
told me
guy
about him.
bought me
That is the green dress
candles.
and you're wearing the.
Yes,
Oh,
for me, like
remember.
yes, he was very. He showed up, but he knew it all, Mister Know It All, and I just couldn't. I just couldn't.
You
Like
can't even get through a sentence, Sana. Umtu saying Wikipedia. Yeah,
yo,
translate.
yo, there was this one time where I told him I had short hair back home, and I would dye my hair, go to office. But when I had to go to the client, I would probably like wear a wig or whatever. And he was like, "You can't do that in the UK. You need to be professional." Blah 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 blah. And I was like, "This is my fourth year in corporate. How come you are telling me what to do in corporate? Like, I know how
The
to
worst part is
act."
when they tell you about Africa that they've
Yo,
never been to. And it's just like, are you educating me about Africa right now.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I know how to act. Leave me alone. The one
Mm.
thing that I want to talk about is you being on different sites.
Mm.
I found it overwhelming just to be on Hinge.
Mm.
How did you make sure that?
I kept matching with the same people. A lot of people are on all
Mm,
three. I liked Hinge because Hinge has all the beautiful men. I feel like
yeah,
even the aesthetic of Hinge is
yes.
just aesthetically pleasing. It's colorful. It's just it's just
But you
cute.
find people that are like, travel, want to travel. Like traveling is their personality.
Mm,
Oh, bored,
mm,
bores me.
mm.
What are the
All
other
their
things that?
pictures are just like them on a boat somewhere,
Uh,
them on a like villa somewhere. Just okay, well, yeah. So that was the Hinge had its like aesthetic and it had its types.
mm,
Tinder was just like fun and funny. Bumble I liked because women have control.
mm,
You a man can you text the men first,
mm.
so they can only match with you if you greet them first.
Okay.
So I liked Bumble for that because I just felt like the men are literally chasing you.
Mm,
There's no other way other than other than for them to. So they sit there in the drafts saying hi until you say hi back.
that's nice.
So I like Bumble because of that. Like I felt like I had control. Um,
I cheated Hinge, probably like Bumble, but I'd never been on Bumble. I quickly realized that it can be overwhelming to have people like matching, like swiping and matching, and then I just literally stopped, did not swipe. I would just wait for people to like my profile and then I would respond based on the likes.
mm,
And the other thing that I did, I would pause my profile because if I'm chatting to three people, three is more than
it's a
enough.
lot,
And
yeah.
I would always say, like, if you are chatting to 3 to 5 people, even more, on a normal basis, you'd meet one person a
Mm,
week or like in a month.
mm,
So now it becomes overwhelming. So those are my like tips
mm,
for people that go on dating site, and I've said to my friends as well. Pause your profile, maybe wait. You can swipe so that the app picks up the kind of people that you like, but then at some point just chill
mm.
and don't feel like time is running out where you have to choose. I guess what would you say to someone who tries the dating app, but then how to initiate that conversation of let's go out, and what type of date would you suggest?
I think just being straight up, like
Not
don't be
walks.
too, yeah, don't be too easy and available. Like be straight up. Like you can even put it up on your profile that I'm looking for a serious relationship.
Mm,
I'm looking for, someone who's intentional, not just looking to hook up. Like you can put that on your profile, and then the people that come to you, they're intentional and they know that they're not just here to play. So, and once, even when they start talking to you one on one, you make that clear from the get go because that
mm,
question always comes up. Oh, so what are you doing on this app?
mm.
You're so
Ugh,
beautiful. You're so beautiful. Why are you here? Why are you
what?
here? And then you'd be like, oh, I'm looking for something serious. I'm looking for something intentional. And then you explain what intentional looks like to you and you say what dates you like. I prefer like sit down dates in a public place. So you can either go for a drink or go for dinner, but not come to my house or I'll come to your house or
Mm.
walks or like I'm not into adventurous dates also. I don't like boma bowling and
Oh, it types
boma
down.
types uyokhwela izithuthuthu and let's sit down and talk. So yeah, I think just being straight up
Mm.
about your preference,
There's
being
an abundance of men. The one thing that I think I might have said to you, but I also said to a friend that when they asked me how is the dating side going, and I said I met a lot of good men, but not godly men.
mm,
Um, and I mean, for the person that I am and where I'm at, I want someone who goes to church. At the start, I didn't think that was important, but now if I go back, I want someone who does go to church. And I always think, okay, I don't necessarily want someone that's perfect, but there must be a level of, I feel called by God to do this, or I'm just starting to figure out my faith. I am I'm still trying to figure this out, but they are figuring it out themselves. I don't want to drag anyone, because don't flirt to convert. So someone that has already been converted, God is working in their lives in whatever way. They don't necessarily need to be in ministry or whatever, but there needs to be something that they have started in terms of their walk with Christ. What is your preference? I guess.
Yeah, I've evolved. Like when I started off, like when I was still my faith was taking, I was open to like just like being with anyone and just being like, okay, I could be with anyone. But now that I'm like I've grown in the faith, I think also that's why I'm not in the apps like that anymore, because I'm just like, yo, the man that I want now and my standards and my values and how I'm acting them out, like it's very different.
Yeah.
So definitely like your core values, like if you're Christian, if you're waiting, if you don't want to, go to the club, if you're not drinking, like things like that, those are values that won't just come up after the fact. Like it needs to be known from the get go that I'm waiting. So, well, like I'm on a celibacy journey, or I'm a virgin. I don't want to do this. Then you make that known up front, and that's a value that if you don't set that up on these dating apps, this man will just be whiling. And then another thing is just being prayerful about the whole journey and about being single, and like making sure you are intentional about your journey of becoming a wife, because we are building towards the next step,
Yeah.
of our growth into womanhood. So I'm just at that point now where I don't just want to play around. Like I'm very serious about who I want, my values, and that I'm intentional about like aspiring for marriage,
Yeah.
aspiring for a man who loves God, who's in the church, whose values are, intact. So yeah, agreed. But I think that in terms of dating apps, that's very limited.
Yeah.
Like that pool nje is very limited. But I always say, if I'm on the dating app and I'm a woman of God and I'm waiting and I'm doing all of this, another me, another
It's on
guy
the other
is on the
side.
other side.
That's
The
good.
fact that I'm there, it means even if it's just one, as I am one, they're also there on the other side. So I'm not saying it's not possible, but the you have to sift through a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot. And actually, Stephanie Ike was saying yesterday that when she was single, right before she met her husband, she was very she basically knew when she was God revealed to her when she's gonna fall pregnant, but He didn't reveal to her when she's gonna get married. So she had to go through the whole dating phase, knowing that she's waiting, she wouldn't have a baby outside of marriage. So she knew the fact that God showed her the day when she's going to have a child means God knows when she's going to get married, right? But she was saying, as a single woman, she had to kiss a lot of frogs, and there was no direction in terms of who God had for her or how that's going to look like how the marriage part is going to look like. And as singles, we like to gaslight ourselves when we are in that season and say, no, God, take the desire away. If I'm not meant to get married, then take the desire away. And it's a lie, because if God gave you the desire, then the desire is there from Him. What is He taking away if He gave it to you? So it's just a matter of like what I'm getting at is you basically you kiss a lot of frogs and sometimes you don't know what the end is going to look like because God doesn't reveal everything to you.
Yeah.
But the desire, like ask for God to keep that desire in you and don't just like pray it away. Like pray intentionally that God keep this desire, God keep my heart in the right place so that when the person finds me, they find me ready and worthy. So yeah, I
That's
like
good.
that. Yeah.
That's good. Well, we're going to leave that conversation there because we have a lot to share. Hopefully, maybe we'll do a part two and talk about actual dating or being in a relationship in London and how that
Yeah.
looks like.
Yeah.
But I guess just main takeaways in like being on the dating apps is just know time is still on your side. You're not running out of time. There is you'll find what you're looking for, and as Amanda has said, you have to sift through a lot of stuff to get to what you really want. And you need to be very, very disciplined and know your core values, what you're looking for in someone, because you can get easily distracted by how they look or what they present or whatever the case may be. But thank you so much for joining us in this conversation. Thank you, friend, for being here yet again. I'll see you on the next one.
Thanks for having me. Thanks for having me, guys. We are growing, hey.
We are
I
growing.
saw Sana, we are past 100 subscribers. I was like,
Yes.
look at us.
Subscribe.
Subscribe.
Like more than
Comment.
subscribe, like, because that picks up, the algorithm picks up and someone else gets to actually,
Wow.
it's like, yeah, it's like sharing basically. So when you like people that would, okay, yeah,
It recommends
like
the
it
video.
recommends the video.
Like, if you are still here, oh, like. And
Like,
keep
we
liking.
love you,
Love you so
Gesana.
much.
Love you, Gesana. Thank you so much for joining me on this episode and my friend. And we'll see you on the next one. Bye.
Ayo.
Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. See you on the next one.